Good morning everyone, today we're checking out a brand new video from Goji Center about the top 10 deaths in Primal. Now if you haven't ever seen Primal, it's just 2 seasons, about 20 episodes total or so. So I'd recommend taking a couple hours of your day and checking it out. Now as for deaths, we're not talking about like what killed it or how, but just, actually no, yeah, I guess exactly how. Oh, we're gonna have a creature and how it was killed. So let's hop in and see who's on that list.
Today on Goji Center, we'll take a trip through a blood-soaked memory lane to recap some of our favorite grisly kills across the 2 prior seasons of Primal. Will some of yours make the cut? Will some turn out worse than it might have seemed? This is Top 10 Deaths in Genndy Tartatovsky's Primal. Number 10. The Death of the Arsinotherium. Arsinotherium is a bizarre beast if there ever was one. Looking like a doubled-up rhino and being more related to manatees and elephants, this extinct behemoth is now a little bit more extinct after Fang and her new suitor Red came up on one. In what was essentially a romantic evening for a pair of tyrannosaurs, no doubt a horrifying day for the herbivore, this hornhead got slammed into from either side by either Rex. Multiple tons struck it from multiple sides, tooth first. If its spinal cord wasn't outright broken, it was bent into a Z shape before it had more of its body ripped by the following bites. A cinematic end in most other franchises, but only number 10 on our list. Number 9 and 8, Krog and the Ape Men. Thankfully, if there's one constant force in Primal, it's karma catching up with others. For the next 2 spots, we have a composite of fearsome fatalities, given they happen right after each other, and are something of a sequence instead of a single death. The Ape Men were some of the first major antagonists to menace the prehistoric dynamic duo, and their champion, Krog, certainly set the standard. After brutalizing his own kind, the pugnacious primate was augmented with a super serum that let him beat the brakes off of Fang. Spear was more than happy
pretty much Hulk serum
to return the favor, and more than capable of it after deciding to knock back a cold one and go to town on the boys by chugging a whole dish of the super serum. Taking on a form that would make Dr. Banner proud, the prehistoric Hulk tore Krog's arms off and turned him into the latest craze in percussion instruments by beating him like a drum with his own limbs. Not having any serum themselves to amp up and even the odds, the Ape Men proceeded to try and match the mights with multitudes. Didn't work out too well for them. Some were killed instantly, and those were the
many of those guys literally when hit and flung back, all bones shattered.
Lucky ones. Many of these Ape Men that had parts of their bodies smashed off or crushed without having their brain destroyed had a much more prolonged fate. Crippled and with predators and scavengers abounding in the very next episode, it's likely a lot of them were still alive when the vultures, wild dogs, and flesh-eating bugs arrived. Before we continue, we'd like to give a special shout out to a fundraiser the team has pitched in with, and wants your help to kick it into the goal. We might be talking about a lot of dino fatalities for purely fictional fun, and reality is not something to joke about, but dinosaurs faced danger from a lot of the same things we humans do. But one thing they didn't have was their fellows looking out for them like we can. That's why we're sponsoring the donation drive Dinos vs. Cancer by our friends at Creature Archives. A link below.
By the time you guys actually seen this, they've actually already hit that goal. I mean, hell, let me actually show y'all. Well, let's go out here, and if I go small, oh, no, I'm still kind of blocking it, but right here, under me, it shows the goal, and yeah, no, they hit it, and with like a full 3 days to spell, 61 hours at the time, but still.
Will direct all donations right to the Cancer Research Institute, a cutting-edge group who helps save thousands with current treatments and develop whole new ones to help thousands more. It's the season of giving, and we are very close to reaching our goal. So pitch in for life as we continue with our Primal path. Number 7, the Old Mammoth. Primal does not shy from gnarly displays of blood and gore, but viewers of this show know that some of it carries emotional weight. The scene where the protagonists kill the old mammoth shows that the brutality sometimes isn't always just a natural, necessary part of survival, and at times it can feel tragic and painful. The old mammoth stabbed and distracted by Spear using his namesake weapon, but poor old Pachyderm was left open for Fang to come rushing in from the other side. Lacerated and battered, the mammoth finally got the coup de grace via Spear smashing in its skull with a small boulder.
If I remember correctly, this thing was also like a matriarch of a pack.
Reasonably brutal, but this death definitely stuck out for the gravitas after it. Not only did this demise directly inspire action from the other mammoths in the herd, but it even got a small moment from one of its killers. Spear took a moment to look the mammoth in the eye and acknowledge it. Its death was necessary to keep them alive. It was never anything personal. And this soft spot for the mammoth probably saved his life later when confronted by the herd and realizing what was on their mind. Number 6, Night Feeder's Hunt.
Ooh.
The world of Primal isn't just inhabited by denizens of the prehistoric but mundane kind. Even with the acts of superhuman durability and strength our heroes show off, there are blatantly supernatural monstrosities and threats
like
afoot.
That thing,
just
the Night
what
Feeder.
This monstrosity was still remains a mystery. It could have been anything from an uncanny species of dinosaur to the saurian equivalent of a werewolf. And we can see Fang had very good reason to be instinctively scared of this thing and tried to keep Spear from it. The claw swipes from the Night Feeder didn't cut and slash, they obliterated. These poor Triceratops get put on this list for getting hit so hard they were bisected or outright look like they exploded. The amount of strength behind blows like that would practically involve the force of a bomb condensed into a bladed slash with an impossibly sharp edge. Who knows how many other animals died in its blade, including the poor feline in the beginning of the episode. Number 5, the Primal Cannibal. Flashing forward, the unusual episode set in the Victorian period gave us not only one of the more brutal deaths in the series, but also from one of the most unexpected sources. The culprit, an enraged madman who barely even qualified as human. The victim, a completely unassuming Victorian gentleman by the name of Bertie. The murder weapon, the madman's own teeth, mauling and chewing the old man to death. This would be nasty enough seeing another predator do it, but seeing a human go into animalistic cannibalism just makes the demise of Bertie even more disturbing. And considering humans don't have the biggest jaws, it was going to take a lot more bites to hit something vital when the murderer chose to prey on his own kind. Number 4, Shield Maiden Shatter. Another thing very true about Primal is that it is very equal opportunity carnage. No matter the species, gender, level of strength, and wits, you can wind up on this list. And the Vikings in the show were just as big of believers as letting the ladies have just as many weapons as the menfolk. True that. Years of experience and training didn't prepare the chieftain's shield maiden of a wife from the most brutal catfight she could have expected when she went up against Fang. After managing to do some decent damage dropping the Tyrannosaur, she unfortunately got a bit too close instead of staying at range. Or as Dr. Malcolm put it, a very convenient biting height. Still, even with her legs perforated and shattered from that chomp, that was only the start of the beating. Getting bashed across the ground multiple times until she went limp like a wrung chicken.
She got
almost all of her ribs and most of her spine was probably shattered on impact after the first couple of hits. Number 3, Spear's Last Stand. After facing dinosaurs, brutal civilizations, the elements, and supernatural monstrosities, a question on the mind of many was just what could possibly ever put down our leading Neanderthal man? Well, what about a literal demon out of hell? That could do it. Getting completely immolated by hellfire by the Vikings.
Still love that guy because that is honestly so brutally epic. This guy is actually Spear on screen though. Oh, not the one I'm talking about.
Chieftain turned fire demon, Spear was completely engulfed by the inferno and turned into a human Roman candle. Still, this is Spear we're talking about, and the demon out of hell isn't going to make him cut and run when everything's on the line. Tackling his attacker over the edge of a cliff and plummeting potentially well over 100 feet, Spear put the smack down on his opponent the whole way down. The fact that Spear, of all people, survived this for some hours was nothing short of amazing, and his legacy at least got to live on with his surviving loved ones and daughter. Though it might be literally living on in some other ways, given the trailer we got for the upcoming Season 3, where Revenant Zombie Spear will no doubt give us plenty more kills to talk about in the future. Number 2, Devil's Dues. Our penultimate death is a bit of an odd choice, given it's debatable if it even fully counts as a death or not. But considering where Spear's killer wound up and with whom, we weren't about to argue it wasn't pretty gnarly. The Viking chieftain certainly got a lot of karma thrown his way for a life lived as a seafaring marauder and slaver. Losing enough, he was willing to make a deal with a literal devil when he found himself on the other side. The thing about making a deal with a devil, on the other hand, though, is what happens when the contract expires. His final moments were spent snatched up by a clawed hand and dragged into a fiery chasm below. The creators of the show never fully clarified who or what this horned-headed horror is, but we tend to prescribe to the idea that if it looks like
I mean, you can literally just say he is a devil. I mean, that's it. That's it. That's it. That's all you need. Come on now.
a demon and act like a demon, it's probably a demon. And if there is some kind of consciousness in the hereafter, that chieftain probably would have wished he got sent to Valhalla instead. Number
he
one,
chose revenge.
the Plagued Titan.
Oh, I love that
final
episode.
exhibition in brutality, it not only goes to a dinosaur, but an antagonist. This gigantic Argentinosaurus, which was afflicted with a plague of madness that turned this peaceful herbivore into an unrelenting monster.
Pretty much a
the
zombie.
exact specifics of the plague is something we'll tackle in a future video, when we turn this green Goliath loose on another setting. The first victim of this new plague is very much still in there. While the Argentinosaurus was completely unrelenting no matter how much damage it took, it wasn't ignoring the pain. Most truly dead and unconscious zombies in fiction don't register damage at all. And yet, this one was shrieking in pain when Spear and Fang finally lowered it to its fate in the lava. It's possible the sauropod was still conscious for this mercy kill when the heat coming off of the lava finally put it out of its misery. Frying from its bones, exploding from the heat as skin vaporized, the finale to this towering nightmare was not a quiet one, and showed just how much it would take to bring that titan low.
Still beautiful. Alright, and that is their top... Oh, damn it, there we go. Oh, that is their top 10 deaths in, well, Primal. I hope you... Oh, damn it, I'm sorry. I hope you all enjoyed this. Link to the original will be in the description below, and I'll see all of you next time when we flick back on. Until then, this is Fox, signing out. Peace.